Hey everyone, I made $128,000 in profit last month. My goal is to scale that to $167,000 a month in profit. This is basically a day-by-day breakdown of how I'm doing it. Yesterday we chatted a little bit about my Instagram growth. We talked a little bit about my template ideas and how I'm going to be productizing and scaling and selling some templates. I went ahead and I built a system that I think is the first step towards that yesterday, which I'll cover. But right before I do, let me just do a little bit of QA from yesterday's comments, because I think that's just a good way to get things going. It's also a good way to front load the fact that, if you want me to answer questions and you have something that's just been at the top of your mind, just leave a comment down below on Nick Saraev Daily and I'll do it. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to open up Nick Saraev Daily. Now, the channel is still small and quite humble. Because of this, we may not actually have a question. Hit 44 subscribers. Hell yeah. I'm going to go to community. Yeah, it doesn't look like we have any questions, although thank you, Paul. I appreciate you, man. Keep up the streak, says Thomas. Let's go back to my main channel here, which has now hit 48K subs. Let's just cover all this stuff. Adrian asks a pretty straightforward question. What Chrome extension am I using to make Chrome hide all my tabs and go to presenter mode? I don't. I just click this little button and now I'm in full screen. So it just looks like cleaner like that. Hey, Nick, I know you answer comments. I figured out a crazy AI project, but I need a little investment in your guidance. I know trusting a stranger like me in approaching comment section is not good, but for the sake of God, just let me pitch my idea to you. Hey, thanks, man. It's tough for me to make stuff like this worthwhile to ask, just because this crazy AI project that you supposedly have, it's an idea, right? I don't think anybody's really going to take it seriously if it's just an idea. You should probably take it. You should build out some MVP of it. Then you should approach me with that. So I feel you on this, but that'd be my recommendation. And you can kind of consider this me looking at your AI project. If there's something that I'm missing, some context or whatever, then whip up an MVP, send it to me over email, and then I'll do it. Okay, so let's see. Gabriel has a really good question. He says, hey, Nick, great content. He's an SAP basis specialist, which is really interesting. For those of you that are unfamiliar, it's a technical foundation that enables this big platform called SAP to function. I didn't actually know that that's what it was. I thought it was like a specific software platform, but anyway, I guess it's like the software upon which all of the different SAP applications just work off of. So presumably if you are an SAP pro, you're probably just pretty crazy with it. Probably scale these applications, do a bunch of cool stuff that other people don't know how to do generally. So Gabriel says, great content as always. I have a question about productization. This is what I am with 15 years of experience. Awesome. Great. What I do in my field is basically install, upgrade, migrate to new HW. I don't know what that means, or new database conversions, the SAP systems of different companies. I'm having a difficult time imagining what exactly would productization in my world actually look like as an offer to potential customers. So customers want your service. They don't want, I need to figure out how to do the line. No, that's not how you do that. Customers want your service. They don't want podcasts about it or spreadsheets. They want the SAP systems installed or upgraded or migrated or refreshed. How exactly would you go about productizing such work? Any AI trying to automate this type of IT work is a joke so far. So first of all, this is what's called, there's a term for this, but I'm just going to batch all of this stuff under pre-existing systems. It's very difficult to productize a service that's basically some pre-existing or legacy upgrade service, because kind of by nature, if you think about it, you're going to be working off of pre-existing systems, aka all of the things that you do are going to have to be for the most part custom. That doesn't mean that you can't, take elements of productization into your work. It just means that by and large, you're not going to be able to get the sort of like multiples that we're talking about with other types of work. So I don't know, maybe you'll be able to like get this to like a 2.5x multiple. But if you want to get into like, other worlds, you basically need to do like a done for you sort of thing. So like this is kind of like a done with you sort of thing, right? Man, I do not know how to draw D's. It's kind of like a done with you. It's kind of like a done for you if you think about it. Because, you're working with their legacy systems. You're probably coordinating with their staff. You have a bunch of stuff. But that doesn't mean that you can't, as I mentioned. I would go through the process. So I would look through my last 10 projects. And hopefully you have all of these projects logged somewhere. Then I would identify common steps between them. So you probably already have some of these, right? We're talking like call, consultation. We're talking about like day where you visit the office, that sort of stuff. So identify common steps between them. And your goal at this point is to standardize these steps. So even if you can't productize, you could standardize. And by standardizing, you're still going to be able to, as I mentioned, get some multiples on your time. So what this might look like is if for some clients you'd go, I don't know, instead of like lackadaisically going to their office or something, let's say you've done this 7 out of 10 clients, you just make this a requirement. So you say, hey, as part of my thing, I go to your office and I spend 2 days on site. So I'm just going to go like, e.g., I don't know what your thing looks like. And I don't even know if you need to go on site for an SAP thing, but I'm imagining you're working with the larger enterprise people. So maybe you have to, I don't know. So maybe, like you have like a defined flow of, you have some like initial consult, then you do some sort of like written like case evaluation or something where you talk all about the steps you're going to take, which you can obviously template. You can template the consult insofar that you have like questions that are just the same ones that you ask every time. After the written case evaluation, you get like one office visit plus team QA session, right? If you think about it, this office visit, I mean, it's not like you can template an event, but you can certainly like standardize this. So you follow the same steps, you use the same materials. When you show up with like little pamphlets that you give to the people that you're going to be doing the work for. Phase delivery. So you do all of your project deliveries in phases. So maybe you have like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. And again, maybe phase 1 involves like, I don't know, like code review or something. I have no idea exactly what the specifics of the service are, man. So Gabriel, you're going to have to help me out on this one. But maybe you do some code review, maybe 2, then you do like some sort of proposed change or proposed DB upgrades, and you actually like test them all out or stage them, I should say. And then the 3rd is like live implementation, and the live implementation is, I don't know, it's like a 72-hour period where you're monitoring it or something. And then after your phase delivery, you have like some sort of standardized follow-up / retention where you just know that you do the same steps every single time after delivery. You actually go above and beyond. So you do the delivery, they're happy with the delivery, you give them something extra. Hey, in addition to that, I noticed X, Y, and Z. You can make that like some templated resource, some sort of PDF asset, whatever the hell you want to do. But the point that I'm making is you just have like a sequence of steps that maximizes the probability that you retain. And then if you retain or refer, you go to some standardized retainer package, which, presumably does something like this. So, and then part of this process would also be like creating new cross-sells or upsells. Because if you think about it, what you need to do in order to maximize your ability, like if this is like a one-time upgrade thing, you need some sort of recurring component in order to make this work. So you could pitch in some recurring retainer subscription package where people have you on call, presumably for a certain number of hours per month. They pay some sort of fixed fee. You can pitch it almost as like insurance or something, although insurance is a shitty way to pitch things because most people can't conceptualize the value of insurance versus just not having it and then paying when they need it. You could pitch it as a way to standardize their expenses. You could pitch it as a way to, I don't know, offer some additional value, some sort of weekly SAP consulting, whatever the hell. So you wouldn't be able to totally productize, man, but I hope this helps and at least gives you some ideas as to how you would go through the process of basically like turning your offer from something that might be a little bit more custom, a little bit more consultative, into something that is very much so a scalable service. Because, like if you think about it after this, you're going to know that the average project takes, like 95 hours or something. Okay. And then it pays you, let's say like $25,000. You can do the math on that. That means that your hourly rate is like, around $250 an hour, right? I think. I mean, don't do the division here, but you get my point. So now you know it's $250 an hour, and now you can start, either hiring people to assist you with this that are maybe at like $50 an hour or something like that, because now you know that you're getting like a 5x on your money and so on and so forth. I'll leave it at that just because I don't want that to take up like the vast majority of this. But I hope that makes sense, Gabrielle. And if you have any more questions about this, then feel free to drop them. That's very insightful. Okay, great. So now that Q&A is done, why don't we just do my brand stats? That's what I'm calling this next section. And I know I need to figure out a better way of doing this than just numbering everything 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. But let's just like do some brand stat checks. Brand stats is, I'm going to pitch this. It's where I go through and then I basically like get an updated total for my subscriber numbers and stuff like that. And then I can see the growth. So since yesterday, I've updated the sheet where now it includes like a day-by-day breakdown of the subscriber numbers on all of my channels that I'm looking to grow. I have my daily updates channel over here, which as we just covered, well, let's just use this one because I'm already here. Let's go analytics. We'll go subscribers. We're at 48,038. Put that in there, and then we'll paste that in. 212 from yesterday. My Instagram channel, unfortunately, sorry about that. If you guys were with me yesterday, you'll know that I can't just get that data from the computer. I should have to sign into my professional dashboard. I need the app, which freaking blows. I hate having this app. Okay, so it's 10,846, 47. Very cool. Which is 820. And then my daily updates channel here is 44 subscribers, right? So it looks like we shot up 8. So we had the second highest day on record so far. Very cool, very standout. Tomorrow, I presume when I drop this YouTube video, which I recorded yesterday, this is going to be a little bit higher. And assuming that I continue to go viral, maybe this is going to be a little bit higher as well. So, we can kind of see, we can extrapolate, right? If I just take this average, it's about it's about 1,000 per day, basically, since February the 1st. If I just continue growing at 1,000 per day by the end of the month, these will be pretty similar, which is crazy. Crazy for me to think about. Then 1 month, my Instagram, I guess 5-6 weeks, my Instagram will grow to be about the same size as my YouTube and sheer follower count. But, the two are not equal, right? This is very different. Like if I just take like the multiple here, right? I have 5 times the subs here. But in terms of the monetizability, kind of going back the other way, like this is probably like I don't know if it's 1/20th. I'm doing rainbow font again, by the way. Somebody told me that the rainbow font was great, so I'm gonna use that. People told me that Instagram was like 1/20th of monetizability or potentially even less. So I don't really know where we're gonna go with that, to be honest. I don't really know how. I'm hoping that Instagram is starting to feed into my YouTube, but as I mentioned in one of my previous videos, I don't really have any way to find out. I can't really do like the cross-linking that I wanted to, where I show that, right? So anyway, is what it is. Let's really quickly run through some strategy. What I want to do for the next 24 hours. So first and foremost, I recorded a video yesterday, which was sick, where I basically went through and I was going to do this anyway. So for as part of my Instagram growth strategy, I'm posting content on subjects that other people are talking about a lot. So I thought I'd just cut the bullshit and I'd actually go straight to the source. I'd compile a big list of channels that were creating content on tools for various use cases. So maybe like a video AI tool. Maybe it's like a videographer that's doing this, or like an art or a designer person that's talking about new art tools. And I basically just scrape all that every day, add them to some big list, and then I'd go through this flow and then update a Google Sheet, which I'm calling Instagram Reel Database right over here. So this Instagram Reel Database then fills with rewritten snippets. I don't know why this is taking so god-awfully long to access. That kind of sucks. Well, anyway, it has basically like the source video, source reel, and then it has like the transcription. And then it has like my new script. And my new script is AI going through the transcription and then making it better. So this is like, I don't know, X, but mine is like presumably X plus 10. It's freaking amazing and smart and awesome and way cooler. So I don't know why I can only draw lines now. That kind of sucks. I don't just want to draw lines. Well, I guess this is my life now. Oh, I know why. It's because caps lock was on. Yeah, so, we scrape from some other person, we get the transcription of their reel using some OpenAI whisper shit, and then we get the transcription, then we have some sort of like GPT step, and then that GPT step actually does perplexity call as well, which finds the data, makes it better, and then I get a new transcript. This is just going to help me like produce content en masse. But anyway, the reason I bring this up is because the really cool thing is I was really busy yesterday. I had a lot of shit going on. I was doing a little bit of client management. I was doing, I had to just manage a bunch of stuff with my community. I was just doing a lot. I was also going through my to-do list and like eliminating the vast majority of these tasks. And it just kind of struck me, hey, I'm building this anyway. Let's just record a video and add an additional 5 minutes of me just explaining what I'm doing while I'm doing it. So that's what I did. And I got to knock out 2 giant birds with one stone, or a YouTube video that I was going to have to record today. And then the build end to end of me doing the system and like the testing and the implementation. So the second I was done with that, I basically had this big 2.5 hour gap in my day. And I was like, holy shit, that's crazy. And this just kind of circles back to what I keep on talking about in my channel, which is if you're going to do something anyway, and you're good at what you do, and there's inherent interest and value and fascination in like the way that you do things, then just turn the freaking video camera on and just talk instead of think internally in your head. Sure, you'll add some like 20% sunk cost time that you're spending narrating and not just doing the thing. But now, you're also, you get a massive piece of content, especially if you're interesting and, fun to listen to, like I like to think that I am. So yeah, it's pretty sweet, right? Oh, I think maybe my internet is off. I don't know. It's pretty sweet, right? Like I basically got to do that, which is cool. And I'm going to post that video later today. Okay. Another big thing that I did is just being mindful of time here is so I recorded a video. Check. I made an Instagram scraping system, which was sweet. Like this is probably one of the highest ROI systems I'm going to build, just given how quickly my Instagram's growing. And then I also found of templates. As we know, templates are basically the big thing that I'm working on right now. Instead of me actually spending my own time doing it, I had AI at least get me started on this with a big list of templates that I could use. And so here's what I have, and here's what I'm thinking of selling. So the first is, a big chunk of my approach is this Upwork stuff, right? So what I'm thinking of doing is doing some sort of Upwork proposal engine. Now, I fed in some platforms and AI, and it didn't do a very good job of picking them, so let's just ignore that. But basically, here's the scope. You copy and paste an Upwork job description into something. It'll create a CV plus an automation workflow diagram plus a Google Docs scoped proposal. And then it'll also give you the perfectly formatted prompt to feed into the make.com AI scenario to like whip it up, I'm thinking I could probably do this as just like a GPT. I would just do a bunch of prompt engineering, whip up a GPT, and then offer this GPT to people paid for $50 to $75. And then on top of that, I'd also include just a bunch of like best practice stuff. So you buy this one package and you get everything you need in order to like shoot to the top of your Upwork rankings. That sounds pretty good to me. I don't know what the pricing is or how. Could I charge money for, man, I don't know what the hell's going on with my internet here, but it's not good. I'm going to turn this off and then turn this back on in a sec. Yeah, I don't know, like if my internet froze. I don't really know what's going on here. That doesn't look like it's working, so I'm just going to hotspot it because I need to get this stuff done, and me spending a few extra dollars in data is not really relevant to me at this point. So we'll go here. I'm going to go Nick's iPhone. Thank goodness for iPhone hotspots, huh? Okay. Custom GPT cost. I don't know. Can I charge for custom GPTs? What they call it, custom GPTs? GPT assistants? What the hell are they called? I guess there's no way to monetize them, I guess. Could I just do like an N8N chat? I might be able to just do an N8N chat. Let me just see if I could talk to ChatGPT here. I can explore GPTs. Is that it? Clicking explore GPTs. We're not really doing a lot of exploring. Click, click, click. Okay. New chat. Okay, I think something's lagging on my end as well. Okay. Oh, There we go. GPTs. All right. Could I charge for this? I mean, that'd be really cool if I could charge for this. I would just save so much of my time and energy, right? Like, I don't like my thing is I don't want to think at all about creating um I don't want to think at all about creating a front end to this. And like if I could just wrap it in ChatGPT and sell it for $50. Hey, you get access to this custom GPT. You paste in the upper job request and then it sends the thing back to you. That'd be sweet. Let me go to the create tab and just see if there's some way to charge money for it. XXSADF. It's my new custom GPT. GPT store. That's a store, right? So is this just what I was looking at a second ago? Shit, it's just what I was looking at. GPT store, just a bunch of free ones. Free? Dollar sign? Dollar sign, dollar sign. Okay. Sell GPT. Could we sell GPTs? This looks like bullshit. Well, it doesn't look like it's going to have an answer to my question. GPT store. That looks like bullshit. Way to monetize is revenue sharing. That sucks. Yeah, okay, nobody's doing any of this. You know what? I could, yeah, I'm probably going to have to do like an N8N thing. Then you just have a little chat window. Basically how it works is you will paste the thing into the chat and then you will get the nicely formatted sections back. It's not enough. You need to do a Google Doc. Actually, I guess that makes sense, right? I could set up an N8N sub workflow that creates a Google Doc and sends it to you. Actually, you know what? That's totally doable. Yeah, totally doable. Okay, why don't I have one more step? Let's talk about the implementation. So how am I going to do this? Create an agent with a private page and a key you use to access it, because we can do that. Sell this key using, do I want to use Gumroad? I mean, they're going to take 20%. I mean, maybe I can launch it on Gumroad and worry about it after. The N8N agent will call sub workflows that will send the Upwork job description through several API calls to build out the assets. Cool. That seems pretty simple. I can totally do that. So this is obviously my number one. I'm going to do an Upwork proposal engine. And I just, I wanted to walk my logic through here. I've already sort of given it once over, but I just wanted to like walk through the actual implementation. It's one thing to have an idea, it's another thing to do something with it, right? So I had a bunch of other ones here. A cold email copy suite. That's just a bunch of templates, and that's easy. This is like a copy and paste, templates. It's easy. Business systematization blueprint. I already kind of did that. Team hiring and onboarding funnel. I don't know. I kind of did that. AI powered email copy polisher. Automation agency OS sounds fucking awesome though. Comprehensive operational system for running a small automation agency. So project boards, CRM, invoicing trackers, client onboarding flow. The project boards and the CRM and the invoicing trackers, I don't know what the hell that is, but project boards, CRM, and then client onboarding flow, that's what I'm talking about. So I'm thinking I could charge a lot more money for this. This might be like my $450 package, honestly. But basically what I'm going to do to implement this is I need to create an automation agency CRM, then a project management system, then create probably ClickUp automations that generate and make scenarios that generate assets when a new client is onboarded, generate assets plus send emails when a new client is onboarded. I also need to create lists of, let's say, templated email copy so that my customers can swap out, the provided copy with a bunch of alternatives. That'll just improve the probability we're not just 50 automation agencies that are selling to the same audience that are sending the exact same stuff. And a detailed series of video tutorials that show you how to install and get up and running. Similar to my YouTube videos, because my videos are basically like deep documentation anyway. So that's going to be awesome. The asset, the deliverable there, the automation agency CRM, and then the project management system, that's going to be the question. I'm probably going to build it according to Zenpilot's CRM and project management setup like idea. For those of you that are unfamiliar, Zenpilot is like the ClickUp. They are like the ClickUp guys. So they have this big guide called ClickUp for Agencies. They're probably selling it now. Oh, no, they're not. This is just like their big master blog post. This fellow right over here, I forget his name. Is it Zeb? No, I don't think it's Zeb. But this fellow right over here is just fantastic. And I don't think they have a ClickUp view here, but basically you build a process library, which is incredible. And then you sort your work based off of, you sort your work based off of due date. So there's like a due date field for today, or, then another one for tomorrow. Sorry, a due date group for today, another one for tomorrow, and another one for like 3 days from now, another one from a week from now, another one from like more than a week from now. And the idea is like every time, your whole team signs onto this thing, they see all of their upcoming work. Oh, what's due today? This. What's due tomorrow? So I could plan this. What's due the next day? So I could plan this. And that's how you sort. It's a very innovative like way to set up your ClickUp. And I've created a bunch of these now for clients, but I just don't really work with too many people, so I don't really have to do any project management stuff on my own. So I've created it for myself as well, but I've just never really used it. So I could like take that, do the same thing for the CRM, combine end-to-end flow, and just create a bunch of like make scenario automations for my own company. And then I could just sell that. So that's what I'll do. And actually this lines up because one of my other tasks is to better brand the agency. So, assuming that my agency continues to scale, which I believe it will, given the talent that I'm working with, I could actually just like, again, to kill two birds with one stone, build out all of my own infrastructure for this, and then just make it into a template and sell it afterwards. Fuck yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Cool. So we made some progress there. I made some progress here too. The last thing is Nick in a box. It's going to be kind of cool. We're not going to use Vappy for that. Just some N8N. Assistant vector store. It's just going to be like a chatbot, and it's going to be me. So I'm just going to go and create like a big vector database of all of my information. And then I'm just going to have like a little subscription you could pay a few bucks a month for to access. And it's like basically fuzzy search with Nick. So, hey, Nick, how do I do X, Y, Z? Well, basically we're going to have to do is this. And where are we going to get that data? From all of my Maker School, all of my Make Money with Meg, all of my videos, all of that stuff. Massive vector database, probably cost me like 50 bucks a month just to maintain that much data. But then we're just going to run RAG over it. So that's pretty simple. I say 250 here. I think realistically it should be like 15 bucks a month or something. This is going to save a lot of money. So this is going to be create massive vector store, OpenAI, create chatbot interface, probably N8N, run RAG over stuff with custom prompts, sell access to the chatbot as basically 80% of Nick. Get 80% of Nick for 0.25% of the cost. Something like that. I mean, yeah. Then I have a few more. Client Proposal Hub. There was this hands-free appointment booking, although without Vappy, but I'm just going to do these three. Let's start here. 1, 2, 3. This I'm doing anyway, so I might as well just batch that. This seems simple enough conceptually. I've done things like that. And then Upwork Proposal Engine. I mean, like, I might have the most demand, to be honest, but this is probably how I'm going to sort them out. I am so happy that I spent time the other day actually getting this on paper because I was kind of dragging my feet on this. If you guys remember, one of the first videos that I posted on daily updates was me being like, I got to make these templates, right? What's the cost of doing the templates? How much money the template's going to make me? So I am going to take this and then I'm going to make these, and it's going to be freaking great. These are going to allow me to print money. Looking forward to that. Okay, cool. What else we got? Yeah, so just exiting out of that, I had something else that I wanted to talk about today. I don't really remember off the top of my head. I did find the list of templates, right? Right. I wanted to talk about these to-dos. So I did create the competitor tracking system. I did synthesize what you want to learn, turn into template ideas. I want to add perplexity to my content generation system. Generation. So it'd be really cool to rebuild a content generator in N8N now with perplexity calls. So what I was thinking of doing was just not doing the make.com at all. And then just doing N8N or doing both, I guess. I mean, all I really need to do is add a single module call, right? But if I'm going to do this, I'm going to record a video on it in Make, and then I'm also going to do this and record a video on it in N8N. So that's what I added these two for. Yeah. Also, I found this really cool like little search filter that automatically sorts things for me in my tool. I just press / like this, and then it automatically sorts by duration, and then it's in inbox. So I basically just get like a list of high ROI tasks to do. We're starting with the simplest ones, obviously, and then we're going through here. Oh yeah, this is what I want to do. Run through my answer to Gage's question about offboarding clients. Right. Man, that's what I should have done here. Okay, anyway, let's do that right now. So Gage asked me a question about how to offboard clients. So basically, the idea is, right, most of the time you work with clients, presumably if you're good at what you do, things are good. But there are a bunch of scenarios and situations in which you have to like offboard them. Okay, you have to say goodbye to them. So I just wanted to give you guys some best practices there. And boy, am I glad that I remembered this before today, because I wanted, tomorrow, because I wanted to knock this off my list today. So Gage's question is, hey Nick, how do you offboard clients? What's your process for it? What's like best practices for setting up your business to be able to offboard? And so on and so on and so forth. So let me walk you through. So the very first thing you need to do if you want to offboard clients successfully is you need to set up everything right from day one. So what I do is I assume I'm offboarding them at the end of our engagement. What I mean by that is instead of me assuming I'm going to work with them forever, I give the client everything they need in order to say goodbye to me as easily as possible. So to break this down into little sub notes here, the first is I get client to sign up to service. What's that mean? Well, because the client signed up to the service, it's their email address, it's their authentication, it's their account, it's their credit card. If we choose not to work together, I don't have to do anything. It's like, hey, you already have all of the account information. You already have everything you need in your ClickUp in order to make this work. I don't need to be a part of this. Goodbye. That's in contrast to doing it all yourself, in which case you have to transfer everything over to the client, which is a massive pain in the ass. So this in and of itself saves a lot of time, just FYI. The next thing to do is to document everything. And as I typically recommend, you just make this part of like your deliverables. You don't like mention it as much. You offer some bonuses, but you just make like recording a detailed video as part of your project, just like part of the standard run of the mill work. So record detailed Loom videos of the systems, and then I recommend you create a doc for like a 2-in-1. For like a 2-in-1 value add, okay? And send at end of projects, at end of project. So this saves you a ton of time, because now when you offboard, you don't have to like create all the documentation, which might take an hour or two. It's like, no, I've already done it all. So it's like, hey, you got everything you need in your hands. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the time that we work together. If you need anything in the future, you let me know, right? Problem solved, done. So that's like how to set up right from day one. The two is, like you need to create like a handoff doc. If it's a big client, I recommend making a handoff doc for retainers. What is a handoff doc? Easy. All a handoff doc is list every automation that you made. And again, this is going to be easy if you've done the documentation. You're just going to add, so just a Google Doc, add documentation, links to the scenario, etc. List all platforms, make it abundantly clear how much money they're spending, and attach, like, I don't know, monthly spend Then list common I just do 3 common problems and how to fix. And then what you do is you treat this as a handoff. Why? Because you're gonna pretend that this is, or you're gonna treat this as if you were just going to give this to the next automation person to come in. Because this frames it as, well, these systems are reasonably complex, so you're gonna need an automation person to take them on. If it's the client that's considering letting you go, when you say stuff like that, they're gonna think, oh, okay. So it's not just, I'm gonna save $3,000 a month by letting Nick go. I'm going to save $3,000 a month minus however much money the next automation person is, which might be $2,000 a month. So I'm actually only saving $1,000. Is me losing $1,000 or gaining $1,000 a month worth me not having Nick around? Right? Changes the calculus. I usually don't do the offboarding. Usually it's like the client that's like, hey, we've had some changes in the market. We've done all this stuff. So treat this as a handoff to another automation person. And then don't just do say you're available for questions, for Q&A for the next X days, maybe, I don't know, 7 or 14 days at your hourly rate. This just solves the problem where people take advantage of your time and use you, and essentially just try and wring out question after question after question. Do I get this very often? No, I don't. I do a really good work for clients, and generally speaking, they really like me and they respect me. They don't want to waste my time or rack up a big bill or something. But I think some people that are maybe a little bit less assertive, or they don't have the boundaries, we'll find stuff like this very valuable. So yeah, that's more or less it. I'm just treat it as a handoff. Let them know hey, this makes perfect sense to me. No problem at all. Obviously try and retain them if you can. What is it about my service that is currently not delivering the ROI? Can we chat about this? I want to make sure that you get the value that you're paying for. And obviously if there's a simple lever that I can pull to do it for you, I'm going to do it. Here's all the progress we've made. Here's all the results we have, and so on and so forth. But once the actual offboarding happens, you let them know, okay, this makes sense. Why don't I create, what I normally do in situations like this is I create a handoff document that you can take and then give to the next automation specialist that comes on board. I'm going to give them all the information they need. I'm going to list every scenario. I'm going to list all of the documentation. I'll make all the monthly costs really easy to see and appreciate. And then I'm going to give you everything you need to basically pick it up and then go, as well as common problems. I'll make myself available for between 7 to 14 days. If you have any questions or you need me to come in, maybe do some last minute fixes or consultation with the new automation specialist, I'll just charge you my hourly rate for it. Sound cool? Sound cool. Now the mental calculus is, shit, I'm not just going to save $3K a month or $4K a month or $10K a month. It's is this worth, and obviously they're going to be like, wow, this guy is extraordinarily detail oriented. Yeah, I've had a couple situations, I guess, just to make a long story short, where people thought that they couldn't afford me or use me. And then we were at that point, and then I just listed all this stuff out and said, hey, here's what I'm going to do. And then we're like, actually, can we keep you on board? We actually really like your work. Maybe let's refocus on this other thing. So hope that answers your question, Gage. And yeah, I'm really, really glad we got to cover that. If anybody has any questions that they want answered for tomorrow, then just leave them down below as a comment on this daily update, and I'll get to it. I really enjoy doing these as per usual. It allows me to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, get a bunch of strategization down, task prioritization, figure out how I'm going to do things, as well as hopefully create engaging content that answers people's questions and adds value. Have a lovely rest of the day. Thanks.